More than 2,300 years ago, in the ancient kingdom of Macedonia, a child was born who would grow up to become one of the most famous conquerors in human history. His name was Alexander. Alexander was born in 356 BCE in the city of Pella. His father was Philip II, a powerful king who transformed Macedonia into a strong military state. His mother was Olympias, a princess from Epirus, known for her intelligence, determination, and strong personality. Legends surrounded Alexander's birth. Some stories claim that his mother dreamed of a thunderbolt striking her womb before he was born. Others said that on the night Alexander entered the world, a great temple in Asia Minor burned down because the gods were busy witnessing the birth of a future conqueror. Whether these stories were true or not, people later believed that Alexander was destined for greatness. Chapter 2. A curious and ambitious child. As a boy, Alexander was different from many children his age. He loved learning and asked endless questions. He was fascinated by stories of heroes, especially the legendary warrior Achilles. Alexander carried a copy of the epic poem The Iliad wherever he went. He admired Achilles and dreamed of achieving similar glory. His father noticed his intelligence and courage. One famous story tells how a wild horse named Bucephalus was brought to King Philip. No one could ride the horse because it was fierce and uncontrollable. Many experienced riders tried and failed. Young Alexander carefully watched the horse and realized it was frightened by its own shadow. He turned the horse toward the sun so it could no longer see the shadow. Then he calmly approached it, mounted it, and successfully rode it. The crowd was amazed. King Philip reportedly said, "My son, seek a kingdom equal to yourself. Macedonia is too small for you." Bucephalus became Alexander's loyal companion and accompanied him through many battles. Chapter 3. The Greatest Teacher. When Alexander was 13 years old, his father hired one of the greatest thinkers in history to educate him, Aristotle. Aristotle taught Alexander literature, science, philosophy, medicine, politics, and geography. He encouraged the young prince to think critically and seek knowledge. Under Aristotle's guidance, Alexander learned about distant lands, different cultures, and the natural world. These lessons shaped his vision of creating a vast empire where many peoples could live together. Although Alexander loved warfare, he also developed a lifelong respect for learning. Years later, during his military campaigns, he would collect plants, animals, and scientific information from the lands he conquered. Chapter 4. Learning to Rule. As Alexander grew older, he began assisting his father in governing Macedonia. When Philip was away on military campaigns, Alexander sometimes acted as regent. This gave him valuable experience in leadership. At the age of 16, he led soldiers against a rebellious tribe and successfully defeated them. He even founded a city and named it after himself. This was only the beginning. Meanwhile, Philip continued expanding Macedonian power. He united much of Greece under his leadership and planned a massive invasion of the Persian Empire, the largest empire in the world. Alexander watched carefully, learning military strategy from his father. Chapter 5. The Battle of Chaeronea. In 338 BCE, Greek city-states challenged Macedonian authority. A major battle took place near Chaeronea. Alexander, only 18 years old, commanded part of the Macedonian army. During the battle, he led a bold cavalry charge that helped break the enemy line. His bravery and skill impressed veteran soldiers. The Macedonians won decisively. The victory secured Philip's dominance over Greece and demonstrated that Alexander was already becoming an exceptional military commander. Chapter 6. Tragedy and Opportunity. In 336 BCE, tragedy struck. King Philip II was assassinated during a public celebration. The circumstances remain mysterious even today. Suddenly, 20-year-old Alexander became king. Many people believed he was too young to rule. Enemies hoped Macedonia would collapse without Philip. Several Greek cities rebelled. Tribes in the north prepared for war. The Persian Empire expected Macedonian power to weaken. Alexander moved quickly. He secured his throne, eliminated threats, and marched against rebellious forces before they could unite. His speed and decisiveness shocked everyone. Chapter 7. The Destruction of Thebes. One city made a serious mistake. The Greek city of Thebes rebelled against Alexander, believing rumors that he had died. Alexander marched hundreds of miles with astonishing speed and appeared before the city walls. The Thebans were stunned. After fierce fighting, Alexander captured the city. As punishment for rebellion, much of Thebes was destroyed. The harsh action sent a clear message. No one doubted Alexander's authority after that. Most Greek cities chose obedience rather than resistance. Chapter 8. The Invasion of Persia. Now Alexander turned toward his father's dream. In 334 BCE, he crossed the Hellespont into Asia with approximately 40,000 soldiers. Before him lay the enormous Persian Empire, ruled by Darius III. Persia controlled vast territories stretching across modern-day Turkey, Egypt, Iraq, Iran, and beyond. Many believed Alexander's army was far too small. Alexander believed otherwise. He trusted his training, his soldiers, and his leadership. The greatest adventure of his life had begun. Chapter 9. The Battle of the Granicus. Alexander's first major test came at the Granicus River. Persian forces waited on the opposite bank. Crossing a river while under attack was extremely dangerous. Many generals advised caution. Alexander ignored them. He personally led the charge across the river. The battle was fierce. Several Persian warriors nearly killed him. At one moment, an enemy raised a sword to strike Alexander, but a loyal companion saved his life just in time. The Macedonians won. The victory opened Asia Minor to Alexander's army. Many cities welcomed him as a liberator. Chapter 10. The Gordian Knot. As Alexander advanced, he arrived at the city of Gordium. There he encountered the famous Gordian Knot. According to legend, whoever untied the knot would rule Asia. The knot was incredibly complex. Instead of struggling to untie it, Alexander drew his sword and cut it in half. Whether this story happened exactly as described is uncertain. However, it perfectly illustrates Alexander's character. When faced with a difficult problem, he often found an unconventional solution. Chapter 11. Victory at Issus. In 333 BCE, Alexander met Darius III in battle near Issus. The Persian king commanded a much larger army. Many expected Alexander to lose, but Alexander skillfully exploited the narrow battlefield, preventing the Persians from using their superior numbers effectively. Leading from the front, he charged directly toward Darius. The Persian king fled. His army collapsed. Alexander achieved one of the most remarkable victories in military history. He also captured Darius's family and treated them with respect, earning admiration even among his enemies. Chapter 12. The Siege of Tyre. One of Alexander's toughest challenges awaited him at Tyre. The city stood on an island surrounded by strong walls. Most commanders would have bypassed it. Alexander refused. He ordered the construction of a massive causeway connecting the mainland to the island. For months, his soldiers worked under enemy attack. Finally, after a long siege, the city fell. The conquest demonstrated Alexander's determination. He rarely abandoned a goal once he had committed to it. Chapter 13. Egypt welcomes a conqueror. After securing the eastern Mediterranean coast, Alexander entered Egypt. Unlike many regions, Egypt welcomed him. The Egyptians viewed him as a liberator from Persian rule. Alexander was crowned pharaoh. He founded a city that would become one of the most famous cities in history, Alexandria. The city later became a center of learning, trade, and culture. Alexander also traveled to a remote desert oasis, where priests declared him the son of a god. This strengthened his belief that he had a special destiny. Chapter 14. The Fall of the Persian Empire. In 331 BCE, Alexander and Darius faced each other one final time at the decisive Battle of Gaugamela. Darius assembled a huge army. The battlefield was carefully prepared for Persian war chariots. The odds seemed overwhelming, yet Alexander's tactical brilliance prevailed. He created a gap in the Persian line and launched a direct attack. Again, Darius fled. This defeat effectively ended Persian power. Soon Alexander entered the magnificent cities of Babylon, Susa, and Persepolis. The Persian Empire had fallen. Chapter 15. The Conqueror of the World. Although he had already achieved incredible success, Alexander was not satisfied. He pushed farther east into Central Asia. The campaigns became increasingly difficult. Local resistance was fierce. The terrain was harsh. Yet Alexander continued advancing. He founded numerous cities, many named Alexandria. These settlements spread Greek culture across vast regions. At the same time, Alexander adopted certain local customs and encouraged cultural exchange. He envisioned a new empire combining East and West. Chapter 16. Into India. In 326 BCE, Alexander invaded northwestern India. There he faced one of his most respected opponents, Porus. The two armies met at the Hydaspes River. Porus used war elephants, which the Macedonians had rarely encountered before. The battle was intense. Alexander eventually won. Afterward, he asked Porus how he wished to be treated. Porus replied, "Like a king." Impressed by his courage, Alexander allowed Porus to continue ruling his kingdom. This act demonstrated Alexander's respect for worthy adversaries.